Hello there, folks. Welcome to another episode of the Jimnasium, episode 28 to be exact. Holy shit, this podcast is getting old. I am your host, as always, XFL Jim, joined by my lovely, illustrious co-host, the prophetic man himself, Chase Lupine Fiasco Sessoms. How the fuck you doing, buddy?
Great power comes with great responsibility. I'm great. I'm great. I just found something on the internet that is, as Leo would say, is just tickling my twine. It is.
Oh, it is. It is a beautiful thing. Let's show the people real quick what he's talking about.
Lusu goes away. Goodness me. Unbelievable.
Oh shit!
That's the only reaction you can have when you see that is like, oh
God. There's people say like rugby players are so much tougher and like the NFL they wear pads, blah blah blah. The difference was that that was just like two regular human beings hitting each other. Like that wasn't like a 2% body fat human missile flying in and just cutting someone in half.
That's amazing. That's how when I play like a garage league of football, that's how I want my players to lay out.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That guy had no regard for his ability to walk in the future with the way he came.
Full send. That's what we're about here. We're about full fucking send. And we're going to full fucking send you guys into our crazy weekend that was Vegas. That's what we're starting the show off with. Vegas. What did we do last weekend? We were in fucking Las Vegas. It's wild that was already a week ago.
It is wild that was already a week ago. And it was also, I mean, it's wild that we were there that long. I mean, some people get like weekends in Vegas. We got like 4 days. Like we got the better part of a week in Vegas. And much thanks to BTV for bringing us out there and putting us up in just like the dopest accommodations that you could possibly get.
A bunch of thanks to BTV, Better Than Vegas, and a bunch of fucking thanks to our sponsor, the moneymaker, nitrobetting.eu. You want your best crypto book experience? You go over to nitrobetting.eu. You use the promo link in the little sign up box down below. I even have it in the description for you folks in the audio version. Nitro Betting EU. It's a fast withdrawal, fast deposits. They got props, they got parlays, they got it all. It's great. And you're gambling while you gamble because your money's in a cryptocurrency. So it's just going up, down. It's awesome. It's hilarious. It's a fun time. I love using it. Make sure you use the promo code. And by promo code, just use the link right there. https://nitrobetting.eu/?ref equals BTV.
My man said all of it for you.
That is what we are about here on the Jimnasium. But back to Vegas.
Mail it to you in Braille if you need it.
If you need it, we will get your degeneracy for you.
That's right. Back to Vegas.
Holy shit. As good as a week I had in Vegas, I was expecting an equally downturn this week, and Sunday has delivered. It was awesome. It was great. It was the third time I've ever been to Vegas. I came away with some money in my wallet. That's always a nice fucking how do you do.
I think I've mentioned it before. My only other time to Vegas was when I was in 4th grade, and it's for what my family dubbed as the worst Christmas ever. It was nice actually going as an adult. What can I say? I spent the entire time I was there gone off them espresso beans. I think I might be on espresso bean withdrawal this week.
Oh, dude, those espresso beans, they hit different out there too.
It just means more. I don't know what to say.
Vegas is the SEC of cities.
Yeah, that is right. My wife absolutely despises that it just means more. Like her is not an SEC fan. It just pisses her off every time she sees it. She's like, what does that mean?
So I would just, if I was an SEC fan, which I am not, but if I was, I would say it about everything. I'd be like,
that's what I'm trying to do now. I think, yeah. Like, I'm gonna put mayonnaise on this hot dog. It just means more.
Like Southern, like fast food chains, they should just do that.
Yeah. Raising Cane's chicken fingers. It just means more.
Exactly. Like at the local DMV, it just means more.
That's right. So I mean, I think I think you're being I think you're being modest. I think you're being humble, and I appreciate that. But there's a time to toot your own horn, Jim. And I think horn tooting time has come. Why don't you tell the folks? Why don't you tell the folks what you did while you were in Vegas? Because it's pretty remarkable.
I think we're roulette gods. We might be roulette gods. So not only did I hit it big in college football on Saturday, that night,
and boy did my boy hit it big. My boy was cashing tickets. He had like a flip book size stack of just winner paper tickets from the Circa.
It was fucking amazing. I'm cashing tickets, and what do I do with those tickets? I go play craps. Fucking shout out to B-Ho's dad, because he was just at the craps table slinging them dice like a motherfucker, making money for the garage. And it was glorious. That was amazing. That was a fucking awesome Saturday. I was out. We were up to like 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah,
playing craps.
Yeah, I was solo sitting in the hot tub, live betting the KBO.
Dude, I mean, there's something nice about like KBO's on. You get like the Japanese baseball leagues that hit that sweet the witching hour as we call it, and it's just like, oh, I have a feeling about this team.
Yeah, I mean, I always have feelings about anything named after dinosaurs. I'm gonna bet the NC Dinos every time.
Every time we mention like this kind of late night betting, I will once again reiterate, I need a book. I hope Nitro is listening. Give me X League. Give me the X League. I want it. I want to be betting it. And you know what? Let's take a little break from Vegas right now because we have Leo in the chat. Fresno calling it out. My man. Before you say anything, I got a clip.
Eventually, right? I think that's how that goes in the stories.
Chippewa.
Be nice. Come on.
Speaking of chips.
Oh, don't do it.
Oh, I like
Speaking
it.
of,
Week.
I got the most delicious dog of them all. The Fresno State Bulldogs. Coincidence? Beating UCLA at home. Not just covering, beating them at home. Plus 350.
This is the third week in a row that you have been on this show going against Chip Kelly, and I just thought you'd learn. I thought you would learn.
Who did I go against him with last week?
No, they had a bye last week, bro. But they played week 0.
And I had
Hawaii in the points.
Ooh, yeah, here we go. I'm taking another crack. Fuck him in his face. We are going with the Fresno State Bulldogs. They're going to cover the 10.5. They are going to cover the 10.5. And I am going to take the shot at plus 350 on the money line here. I'm telling you, this team is good. This team is really good. This is going to be the best team that UCLA has faced all year. I don't think that UCLA is as good as Oregon. And they were a fumble away from beating Oregon in Eugene. This team is really fucking good. They are going to grind out this game. I would even probably go with the under in this one too. They're going to grind out this game, and Chip Kelly's just going to Chip Kelly. He's going to go to whatever, he's going to be what we always expect him to be, which is just
Me.
I don't know, man. I expect them to win the conference this year.
Chip Kelly is just the noise you make when you have a weak ejaculation. Just, Chip Kelly.
My man, calling Fresno fucking State from the rafters.
Shoot or shoot, baby. Shoot or shoot. I started calling that one in Vegas. I started calling that one while we were in Vegas, and
which makes sense because you were on a prophetic kick while we were in Vegas. So backtracking to Vegas, we were Monday night. We hit big on the Raiders, a bunch of props, a bunch of awesome shit in the Raiders. We go to Circa. We hit the roulette table as degenerates do. It's an awesome, fun game. I always recommend roulette to people. We're there. We're casually putting some money down. And what happens, Chase? Tell the people what happens.
I get fixated on this one square, and it says red and 32, but I don't bet it. For some reason, I don't push my chips in on it. I happen to be co-host of a I'll say top 10 pod in America, and my co-host here Sometimes he believes in me when I don't believe in me, and he puts a stack right there on red 32, and that ball goes spinning around,
Not you're
spinning
selling
around.
yourself short. Not only did I put it on red 32, I put it on everything it could be. I put it on red, I put it on even, I put it on the quadrant, I put it on like the 19 through 36. I put it on everything you could that correlates with it.
And when that little gumball settles, it's sitting in one slot. And I got to tell you, that one slot says red 32. And Jim gets colors of casino chip that I did not know existed whenever it happens. It was epic. We lost our minds.
Our table lost our collective minds. Honestly, just thinking back to it, I'm bricking up a little bit.
Dude. I was in just like this giddy euphoric place like after it happened. And then what happens afterward is we all end up
So what happens immediately afterwards, as I am one to do, I have like this voice in my head that's just like fucking just double down, just let it ride. Let it ride, let it ride. So I take $500 of what I just won, I put it immediately on black, and what happens? It loses instantly. I'm just like, well, fuck, that sucks. It kind of puts a damper on things just a little bit. Puts a damper on things a little bit. Then my man, you timed it. You could have timed it just a little bit better, but you call out 17 while the ball's spinning.
Yeah, and Jim.
And as soon as you say it, the fucking table person's like, no more bets.
Yeah. And
what comes up?
17 black. Yeah. I don't know. I just had feelings. Some say it was divine. Some say it was born of the devil. I don't know what to think of it. And
either way, it's prophetic.
Yeah. And so my boy Jim here ends up hitting another number.
So we're still playing, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, this is my third time in Vegas. I just same way. I can only assume this is the way you felt when you called out red 32. I had an image in my head. I'm 27, so I'm just like, you know what? I'm on a heater. I'm having a crazy good weekend. Let's just put my fucking birth, how old I am down. So I do the same thing. I do odd, black, quadrant, blah, blah, blah. And then I put a stack. I did a little bit more conservative this time. I did like $20 on each one. And then I throw it on the actual number on black 27. And what comes up but black 27? We lost our collective minds.
Yes, we went nuts. Like, we were hands down the loudest people in the circuit. Keep in mind that there is like a sports book. There are other table games. Like, to take, like, when you do the most exciting thing that happened in a casino that night, that's an accomplishment. And so he hits that. I make money off of black. I make money off of odd. So I have a stack, and we just end up pushing. We just shove.
Let it ride.
And we shove it all on black. And here's the thing, is that there was
like 4 other people at the table, I think, right?
Right.
Like, and people we didn't know.
There were zero doubts in my mind that this was going to happen. Like, I've never done anything confidently at a roulette table, but we done did it that time. We shove on black. Everyone shoves with us. There is no space left on the black square on the roulette table. And ding, 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 ding. And it is black as the night. It lands in the square that is like Wesley Snipes shade, like dark. Like, it is beautiful. And we double up. Jim, I can't remember how much he walks away with or how much he accidentally tips the dealer at the roulette table, but it's a lot. It was
a good time. It was a good time.
It was awesome. So I'm glad that my psychic abilities have lasted all the way into college football and the Fresno State Bulldogs. Fresno State, let's give it up.
Shout out Fresno State. Shout out, build the statue of Hank fucking no, not I got confused with games right there. What's his first name?
I don't know. Was it Hayner? Hayner?
Yeah, Jake Hayner. Jake Hayner.
Yeah.
Build the statue of Jake Hayner right now.
That was the gutsiest performance I have. Like, that reminded me of like Byron Leftwich being carried down the field except he did it himself. And like the way he got hit, like he got folded in half in a drive before. And like the way he was moving, made me think like he fucked up his back like bad.
Dude, I mean, did you see at the end of the game after that game-winning touchdown, he's like falls to his knees because he can barely move.
Yeah, it has just the victory fists, like the thing that you do at the end of an action movie whenever you accomplish whatever goal it was that you needed to accomplish in said action movie. That was the pose. Yeah, like something needed to explode behind him. There needed to be choppers flying over, but like he like either like ruined his back, broke all of his ribs, lacerated his kidney, or like ruptured his like appendix or something. Like it was nasty, but he gutted it out.
He fucking did. What a fucking game. And I do need to air out some frustrations. I hate that a game this fucking good could be potential game of the year candidate.
Mhm.
I hate that it was on the Pac-12 network. I hate that.
People who live on the West Coast don't even have the Pac-12 network. Who has the Pac-12 network?
Nobody has this fucking network. And you're putting some of the best games on it. The Pac-12 after dark is always crazy and fun. This weekend, it was the craziest and most fun I've seen in a while.
Oh yeah. So I got to ask now. Is Fresno State Mountain Best of the Mountain West?
With Nevada falling, Boise State falling, you know who you. Yes, I mean, yes, they are the top, but watch out for Wyoming. Wyoming is quietly having a very good fucking season.
Cowboy up, right?
Cowboy versus Bulldog, Wolfpack versus Bulldog. I don't know. The Mountain West is, in my opinion, they're one of the most interesting conferences this year.
Oh yeah.
Also, don't fucking sleep on San Diego State, also undefeated.
Don't sleep on San Diego State. Do not sleep on San Diego State. They put it on Utah. A team that a lot of people thought were going to be really good. Of course, Utah also lost.
I thought they were going to be fucking good. I thought UCLA and Utah, I mean, they still could. I still think they might. Like, I still think UCLA is probably the best team in the Pac-12 South.
Yeah, they just ran into that red and white buzzsaw from San Joaquin Valley, the Fresno State Bulldogs. My Lord, it was an epic football game. It was an epic
football game. It was a great fucking day of football. Like Florida, Alabama was awesome. Penn State, Auburn was awesome. Mm-hmm. Even like I root for Nebraska. Nebraska OU was still a fucking fun, close game for the most part. That was awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Like it was. We were talking on Campus Profits yesterday morning. We were like, this might be a pretty good. Yeah, you know, it lacks in like star power. Like there's not a bunch of just like, you know, highly ranked teams going at it, but there are some just sneaky good competitive games, and that's what we got. We got sneaky good competitive games all over the country from noon Eastern until like 3:00 in the morning, because you had
Hawaii San Jose State ended at 4:30 Eastern time.
Yeah,
and it was awesome. It was a great way to cap it off. I watched that whole thing. I was really trying to will Hawaii to a victory there.
Yeah.
But man, that was a good fucking game.
Fucking Starkle, because he blew up our underdog West Coast parlay that we had going. We had
Fresno State, BYU.
Yeah. We got to talk about the Hawaii punch and the BYU game.
That BYU game was another example of just fucking crazy night games. How good do you feel as a quarterback that you throw that pick and then you just have a dude on your team that'll just chase him down like the fucking Terminator and punch that ball out? That is fucking effort.
Dude, it was effort. It was just the foresight for that guy to come flying in and go for the punch. Like that looks like something out of like a Mortal Kombat like video game, that jump punch. And he comes in and he does what is it, like Chris Collinsworth always calls it, the peanut punch, the Peanut Tillman punch, and he pops it out and he gets it. Like that was just refusing to lose, and it was so great to see. It was so exciting. I can't say enough about the late slate of games, or just all the games that happened today. So please cruise director, show me to the next game.
So the one you got to start out with, you have before we jump into games in general, I do want to mention the one negative aspect of college football, the reffing. There was so many issues. That was like the one detractor from Saturday, was that there were so many blatant reffing issues, like bad targeting was a fucking hullabaloo, and then just bad calls galore. We'll get into those games for sure, but that was like the only negative thing in my opinion.
Jim, do we have a clip of what targeting actually looks like?
We do. We very much do. Here is what targeting looks like. And honestly, I don't even think this should be.
Lusu goes away. Goodness me.
Boom, baby.
I hope he threw up after that happened. That's
So
that's
I
usually
saw-
the icing on the cake for me.
I saw a take that's just like, you know what you should do for targeting? Just send it to one random person watching the game and have
Yeah.
them review it and be like, have them just be like, yeah, that's targeting. That's like pretty obviously targeting. But if they have to think about it, they're just like, I don't know. The second they say, I don't know, not targeting.
Imagine just sitting in your house in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, and all of a sudden you hear a ring at the doorbell, and there's a man wearing a referee's uniform, and he's holding an iPad. And they're like, "Hey, look at this. Is this targeting?" It would fix it. It would fix the problem.
So I'm going to be a homer. We're going to start off Nebraska OU. We're just going to go through a couple of these games to be sure. I'm just going to be a homer and take this one. I think Leo, I'm going to shout out Leo. I'm going to give him daps, give him props. He was the only one I think that really called this one being competitive and close. Nebraska, this is a combination of Oklahoma looking a little suspect. Spencer Rattler still, he's not looking like the dude in my opinion, but Nebraska actually looked pretty good. Adrian Martinez was actually good this game. He was.
He's got that like willy-nilly like flying by the seat of his pants thing. Like I don't think he's good at running plays. I think he's just good at being an athlete.
That's exactly what Mike always says. Like he's not a good quarterback, but he's a good athlete, and he's good at just making shit happen sometimes. The two aspects of this game that Nebraska sucks at and has sucked at for a while, our offensive line is trash, and our special teams is non-existent. That's just same fucking book, same story, different writer. It doesn't fucking matter. Those things are just consistent.
At this point, I would just literally go for 2 on every point after, and then I would probably just not try to kick field goals. I would just go for it.
I would do so. There's what's this university, Pine Bluff University or something like that. They had that old high school coach that just refuses to punt and refuses to what is it? He refuses to punt. He refuses to kick field goals. He always goes for 2, always goes for it on 4th down, and always onside kicks it.
Sometimes someone who's obsessed with the video game Madden gets a head coaching job, and we have to applaud it when it happens, right?
I mean, yeah, he coaches at Presbyterian. I'm pretty sure they actually played an actual school yesterday. What was the score? Ooh, okay. So I want to just go through their schedule real quick. So September 4th, Presbyterian St. Andrews. Presbyterian wins 84-43. Presbyterian versus some other super small school, 68-3. And then they play Campbell, an FCS school. What do you think the score is yesterday?
64,
Campbell wins, just so you know.
64-12.
72-0, Campbell.
Sounds like they didn't scoop up any of them onside kicks.
That's a
Might
very
have had a lot of
feast or
turnovers
famine
on
offense.
downs. Yeah.
That's a rough one. But anyway. Yeah, I'm kind of on the team Nebraska just not doing special teams anymore. Then I think this is probably the biggest game of the day, right? Alabama, Florida was probably the biggest, like in terms of like media attention, like people will talk about this. This is probably the biggest game, maybe Penn State, Auburn, but I mean, you got Alabama. Florida played them like I would say the closest of any team last year, and they were competitive. Florida exposed some things with Alabama, in my opinion.
Yeah, for one, that the Alabama run game, when they need to run, they are not able to run, which is noteworthy. That is extremely noteworthy because that's something that they have been able to do for well over a decade now.
Since Nick Saban got there, that's been like the staple of their thing. They've always been able to run it on you when they need to. They haven't always had to.
Yeah, they've gone away. They've started moving away from a good old fashioned meat and potatoes, just grind out yards kind of offense where when they need to run, they can. And it seems like as he's brought in these as they kind of modernized the offense a little bit, because let's be honest, like that offense was in the Stone Age for a long time. In terms of like they didn't throw the ball a lot. They just had the best running backs ever. You know, they had Derrick Henry, they had what is his
Mark
name?
Ingram, Derrick
Mark
Henry,
Ingram.
Josh Jacobs.
Josh Jacobs, and the one that ended up in the AAF,
Oh fuck yeah,
Trent
I forget.
Richardson.
Yep. Jesus Christ.
And so, yeah, but they were still always able to, even as they've modernized when they had Lane Kiffin, with Sark, they were still always able to run the football when they needed to, and that's changed. And that's a big deal. That is a big deal. And I gotta think that is absolutely driving Nick Saban crazy. Like he's just standing there like, we gotta run the ball, right? Come on, right?
They are gonna run the ball exclusively with the next opponent they play.
Do you like playing? Do you like O or D?
I like D, coach.
D's nuts.
There you go. Fucking perfect.
Yeah, I'm now obsessed with making D's nuts jokes as Nick Saban.
It showed that vulnerability in Alabama, and then it also showed that they're kind of like they couldn't stop Florida running the ball either.
No, Emory Jones got people were saying that the run game was suspect for Florida, and it didn't look like that. Like they were on schedule most of the game.
This does go to kind of prove that in order to beat Alabama, the one thing you have to have is a fucking mobile quarterback.
Like the Arkansas Razorbacks, Jim?
How mobile is he?
Very.
I like that.
He's all the mobile.
He's all the mobile, and your D-line is all the run stopping. Speaking of the Arkansas Razorbacks, shout out to them and Iowa. I didn't tell you this, but I was kind of on Georgia Southern and Kent State. I thought this was going to be letdown spots for an Arkansas team that had a very emotional win. Good job getting it done.
I thought I didn't think that we would lose, of course, but I did think that those.
No, I didn't think you would lose. I just thought this would be kind of a closer game.
I honestly was on Georgia State with the cover. Because if you look at where we were in the schedule, we jump into SEC play and we jump into SEC play with like 4 straight ranked teams. 4 straight.
It was a perfect sandwich spot, and Arkansas just took care of business. If you're an Arkansas fan, you love seeing that because that means this team is not asleep at the wheel.
Yeah. We've been through like 2 or 3 coaching 3 coaching regimes now that would have fucked that up. That would have lost that game. We would. I was gonna say
you've been through like a couple coaching regimes that would just lose that outright.
Yeah. No, I remember. I was here for that. Yeah. So I mean, handle business. Arkansas is gonna. Arkansas is about to make some noise in the SEC West. They might be the second best team in the SEC West right now.
They might be the best team.
Who knows?
Who knows until they play? You got to settle it on the field.
Listen, if Fresno wins 11 games this year and Arkansas wins 12, I'm going to have my blood tested for psychic ability.
You should. You very well should. And shout out Iowa. I thought Kent State would kind of like keep this close. This is another letdown spot for Iowa. I felt another good sandwich spot, but they took care of business. That that was a little iffy on my end, just because Kirk Ferentz usually doesn't give up these kinds of games.
And all I got to say is big ups to Penn State University for taking it to Auburn.
Yep. That was a good game. That was an awesome game.
And I hate Auburn more than I hate a lot of things in life. And seeing them not being able to survive the whiteout, I don't know how Bo Nix. Like Leo texted me last night and he was like, has Bo Nix ever been good? And I was like, here's the deal. Is like, I don't ever remember a time where I've been like, damn, this Bo Nix kid is good. It just seems like everyone tells me he's good. And I've literally never seen it.
He'll have he'll have moments in big games. And that's about it. Like he'll have, I would say throughout his entire tenure at Auburn, he's had like a half of goodness. And but the half of goodness, he always does it in like a big game. Like he did it in that Oregon game, or he'll do it in like this Penn State game, and that's it.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is just the fact that his dad played for Auburn and he's named after Bo Jackson. Like that's it. So I always love when Auburn gets exposed. I feel like they're nowhere near as good of a team as they think they are.
Speaking of exposed, Clemson, what the fuck? 14-8
dogfight with Georgia Tech. I think it was a weird game.
There was a long ass delay.
I think weird things happen after those long delays because it's so hard to get back up after you're already up for kickoff, you're ready to go, and then you have to go and just hang out for like 2 hours.
True, but that's true of both teams, and it was at home.
But it was still Georgia Tech.
Yeah, and you're Clemson. Like, I don't know, man. I could definitely see Clemson dropping an ACC game now.
It's gonna be interesting whenever you don't have Alabama or Clemson in the national championship game this year.
Watch neither of them do it. I mean, we say that hopefully, but it's probably they could both still be in, and I hate that.
Yeah.
Clemson definitely has to win out, though.
Oh, 100%. Their schedule is not strong. Like they have to win, and they probably got to win handily against a lot of these teams. Alabama's in the same spot. Like if Alabama loses, doesn't make it to the conference championship game,
I don't know, man.
They'll still be in it.
I still think they'd be in it because it's fucking Alabama. They've already done it that way before. And they would only have one loss, and it would be like a loss to like Arkansas or Auburn or A&M or like one of these other good teams. And that'd be it. And then just like,
all that needs to happen is Nick Saban has to go on ESPN like around the time that the committee chooses the playoff teams. But hey, we deserve to be in it, right? You know? Have you seen our D?
You're what, coach?
D's nuts. All right. Yeah, like they just him and Dabo can just like go on like, you know, college game day or something and talk about, hey man, we're disrespected, you know, like people are forgetting about good old Alabama and Clemson, and they will end up in the playoffs. Clemson
for sure can't lose again. I mean, unless we have a crazy year where like there's no undefeated conference championship, like they're all 1 loss or 2 loss or something like that, which would be awesome. I'd be here for it.
I would love to see an SEC championship game that did not feature Georgia, did not feature Alabama, did not feature, you know, like let's get a crazy SEC championship game.
For the rooting interest of BTV, I want an Arkansas Kentucky SEC championship game.
Oh God. Beho and I will need to be far, far away when that happens. We cannot be in the same city, county, or state while that game happens. That will come to blows.
Shout out
the Kentucky meatball himself.
Fucking hell, I love that. That's a great one, Leo. Shout out Cincinnati, by the way. They won. They didn't do it pretty, but they won. And that's what you got to do if you're a G5 team. You just got to keep on winning.
On the road at Indiana, right?
Not an easy place to win.
Not an easy place to win. And I love Indiana's quarterback because it sounds like a person with a speech impediment is saying the word penis.
Michael Penix.
I heard my penis. Yeah. It's man. College football is in full swing. The games have been just amazing so far, and
it's already like week 3 has already happened.
I can't. I feel like
that's fucking insane how fast the season is going.
I think we just had like a letdown of like game quality last year with COVID and everything. So like, I think we're just now remembering how good college football can be, and it's so
good. It's so good.
Feel nostalgic.
I refuse to ruin it by talking about the playoffs every week. Like, I'm not going to be talking about how does this shape this narrative, blah, 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 blah. College football is it is a sport where you appreciate the regular season.
Yeah, enjoy every single game because you're going to wake up. It's going to be January 10th, and it's going to be gone.
You're going to miss it.
Miss it when it's gone.
I want to give a special fuck you to the Virginia Tech Hokies. Your math sucks. West Virginia all the way. That's I had Virginia Tech in so many parlays.
Yeah,
They kept it close.
They should have won that game. They should. There's no reason they couldn't have punched that ball in at the end. They should have won that game. Well, they shouldn't have won that game, but they could have won that game.
They very well could have. And that's all I want to talk about Virginia Tech Hokies because fuck them in their stupid face. Oh, by another G5 team that just keeps winning. Coastal Carolina winning your clunkers. Buffalo is a team that can kind of scrap it and muck it up with people. So good on Coastal for winning that one.
I'm sitting here and I'm thinking right now, who's the best team in the G5? And
It's Fresno. It's Fresno.
it very well it could be, but I think you have like you have three teams at the very top that any given week it could be one of them, and it's Cincinnati, it's Fresno, and it's Charlotte, not Charlotte, Coastal Carolina. Yeah.
How do you classify BYU? Are they their own thing, or are they kind of G5S? Because I would put them up there too.
I say before they were independent, they were a G5 team.
They're kind of like their own thing now.
They're kind of like their own thing now with the G5E aftertaste.
Because like Army is independent, but Army is like definitively G5. Same with like New Mexico State and Liberty. Like Liberty is definitively like a G5 team. Who's also Liberty is doing sneakily good too.
Yeah. I mean, that's another.
But BYU kind of has like they're in that weird like middle ground.
All right, four. I'm gonna put them in there. I'll put them in there. Those are the four teams that could just be flip flopping all season as the best G5, the best team in the G5.
I could definitely see it, and they play some entertaining fucking games. Speaking of entertaining games, shout out Ole Miss Tulane. Holy fuck. Lane Kiffin knows how to put on a show. I'll give him that.
Hold on. My phone just buzzed.
Ooh.
Ole Miss just scored again. Ole Miss just scored again in that game.
19 points in the first quarter, 21 points in the second quarter, 61 points without scoring at all in the fourth quarter.
They're going to have to start giving you absolutely garbage odds on the overs in those games, or they're going to have to just start setting the total at like 125. Like it's ridiculous how many points
82. That total crushed.
Yeah. That's a big number. That is a really big number. And they scored 60 of it.
Shout out Beho on this morning. How about that Gronk Cup call? He got that right.
Yeah.
Gronk killed it today.
Yeah.
I'll let him have that one.
Okay. He didn't call Fresno State, though.
Did not call. I mean, not very many people can have a call like that. Another team that I just want to say fuck you to. I was high on both the Virginia schools, and they both let me down.
Yeah. What's their coach's name? Bronco
Mendenhall.
Okay. I thought it was Dick and Balls. It's Mendenhall. Okay. Yeah. He after they just like they went down big and then they just came storming back and then just fell flat in the second half.
They just
shot the water early.
They just couldn't keep up. Like that second quarter was really something. It was giving me hope, stringing me along. North Carolina just has too good of an offense. When North Carolina kind of finds itself there, I kind of almost have them in the same category as Ole Miss, where their offense is good enough to beat anybody on a good day.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Hey Jim, can you show me the rugby hit again?
Of course I can.
Lusu goes away good, and it's
It just makes you feel good.
Listen, you show me like a style ball British man getting folded in half by another man flying in head first. I love it. I'll always watch it.
Two more games I wanted to shout out. Michigan State, Miami. That was a fun one. That was a good one. I think everyone was on Michigan State. Miami, again, proving to be fraudulent.
Yeah, Miami, first of all, slighted us as a company yesterday.
Fuck them for that.
Whenever they got their spatula and they flipped the Kentucky meatball and had Blackjack Fletcher out of that game for being there. So Michigan State looks great. Kenneth Walker III, I think that's a dark horse Heisman candidate because he is an electric running back. And unfortunately, the U is very much not back, which makes me sad because I feel like college football is better when the U is really good, but they're not. They're not. It's better when they're good, and it's even better when them and Florida State are good. And it is neither of those teams are bad. So Miami's not bad. Let me clarify.
Florida State is bad. Florida
State is bad. But
Miami is just They're like a 7-5 team.
Yeah, they're just like a mediocre ACC team. They'll go to a bowl game probably, but by virtue of maybe some non-conference games. But I hope they get two cupcakes scheduled after playing against Alabama and playing against Michigan State. The Big Ten is starting. I'm one
good.
I'm one who traditionally does hates the Big Ten and does not give them very much respect. But now that you have what I think is most definitely down here for Ohio State, you've got a pretty exciting Big Ten that's putting a pretty good product out there every single Saturday.
Guess what I've been calling since the fucking start of the season, since the preseason? Jim Harbaugh coaching for his job. Michigan's looking pretty good.
I guess.
They haven't really played too much competition yet. We'll see how they look against like actual schools, but they're looking pretty good.
He'll still lose to Ohio State.
No, he will not. I've been calling that from the rafters. That's my prediction, is that they beat Ohio State, but somehow still don't make the Big Ten championship game.
Sounds about right.
This wouldn't be the Jimnasium if we didn't shout out Western Michigan over Pitt. Directional Mich School getting it done. This is a game where Pitt just pitted all over the place. Holy fuck.
Yeah. Answered the bell every single time that they had to. Pitt comes back and ties, they come back and score. Early they go down, they come back and score twice. Like they just went out and they were looking for action, and they did it. They just macked all over Pittsburgh. It was
glorious.
As someone who loves all directions of directional Mich schools, gotta love it. Gotta love seeing it.
Gotta fucking love it. I was on the wrong directional Mich school. I was big on Central over LSU. That was a rough one to watch. LSU really just kind of found their footing this game.
If that game was kicked off at 11, I think they would have had a better chance.
I think so too. I'm gonna go with that theory. Moving on, this is the last game I think we're gonna talk about. I mean, fucking shout out Beho, barely scraped by Chattanooga with Kentucky, by the way.
Yeah, it was kind of fun seeing him have it pucker up on him just a little bit there. But yeah, they got it. They got it by. I mean, I don't read too much into not beating a team like that handily. Like sometimes it's the Super Bowl for a team like that sometimes.
So out of a day of bad reffing, this game might have had some of the worst calls. It's Mississippi State Memphis. Did you watch this game?
I did not watch it. All I saw were highlights. I saw the ridiculous kickoff return.
You saw that punt return?
Yeah, the punt return where where he just scooped it and went. It's hard to beat Memphis in the Liberty Bowl. It is hard.
Did you see the SEC officials actually came out with a response?
No, did they?
So here's the whole scenario that went down. So Memphis does not down it. Not Memphis. Mississippi State punts it. The guy knocks it back from the end zone onto like the 10-yard line or the 7-yard line. Their guy touches it, doesn't down it because you have to like pick it up and make sure the ball isn't moving. He doesn't down it. The Memphis player picks it up, but then the official signals to stop. And once the official, he shouldn't have done that. The SEC officials were like, he shouldn't have signaled. But the second he did, you have to go stop it and review it for that. And Memphis had 2 players wearing the number 4. So that should have also been a 15-yard penalty.
God, Memphis. Well, I mean, it
was hilarious. It was objectively hilarious.
If you're the referees, I mean, you do have to, and you're refereeing a Memphis game and the Liberty Bowl, you do have to be concerned with leaving that game with your life. Because, I mean, I say it all the time, and it's not a joke. It is true. History has proven this, that even if Memphis loses, they're going to win the fight after the game.
Dude,
they don't
Memphis
care who you are.
Around.
My favorite thing Memphis ever did was like after they lost like a non-consequential bowl game to Auburn, was like 2 Memphis players accosted the Auburn ball boy and like stole the game ball from him and like just ran off. It's just like that. Thanks for putting like that. That's the city of Memphis in a nutshell. Like,
yeah, very much so.
Yeah, it's a grimy place. They got a grimy football team, and you know what? I don't hate it.
Dude, Memphis fans after the game, they'll be like,
Lusu goes away. Goodness me.
That is the best thing that I've ever seen in my life.
It is that punt return was objectively hilarious. And speaking of objectively hilarious, let's move on to a couple NFL things. I caught a couple of the games today, and I did catch the end of the Vikings Cardinals game. You know, I was high on the Vikings preseason, but I'm high on the Cardinals too. And I got a little clip for you, Chase. Here's the radio call of the game-ending field goal.
High snap, put down. Joseph, come on! It is gone! No, he missed it.
Good.
Are you kidding me? He missed it right.
He missed it right.
Oh, my heavens.
Oh my.
He missed it right.
What a gut punch to a team, Paul, that play after play toward the end fought its way back.
Oh, missed it by like a foot.
And just,
oh my God.
I am going to. That's the radio. That is the Minnesota radio call during that game where Minnesota is trying to kick a field goal to tie it up. That I am making that my new cell phone alarm.
That dude is practicing his good all week. He was just standing in the mirror all week going, and it is good, because he knew that this might come up, and he just
nope. Just nope.
High snap, put down. Joseph, come on! It is gone! No, he missed it.
Good.
The immediate, no, he missed it right afterwards. It's perfect. This is one of the most perfect clips I've ever seen.
Those are laughter tears.
It was just so good.
It didn't even look good.
It didn't. It wasn't even that close.
I can imagine him sitting down, having some really nice meal that his wife prepared for him, and he's like, "This is delicious." Wait, no, it's not. No, this is bad.
That's not.
This is
Nope,
bad.
I'm actually about to go throw up.
How is this not delicious?
Just perfect. I think on like the broader term of the NFL, I think the broader theme of the NFL this Sunday is quarterback injury. Going from that to quarterback injury.
It's terrible. It's terrible. They keep getting injured. I can't stop laughing.
As a Dolphins fan, I'm very upset. I'm very upset that it seems like Tua is out potentially for the season. We can't even fucking go. That clip's too good.
My eyes are watering. Like for a second, I just thought my glasses were fogged, but no, it's like my eyes are just so watered from laughing at that announcement. Deep breath.
There you go.
Compose yourself.
Nice. We're here.
I just heard the cricket, by the way.
Oh, it's still here. I didn't get it. The cricket saga continues. I'm going to search for it tonight after this.
So yeah, Tua.
Quarterback injuries in general, like Tua is out. We saw Fitzpatrick last week. Baker is questionable now. There was another one, right?
I feel
like there was another one. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe it was just those two. I thought there was another one.
I don't know what the Browns even have backing up.
Either way, the Dolphins, that defensive line is actually not looking good. The defensive backfield is still great. I said it was.
Yeah.
That defensive line is very suspect.
That the defensive backfield might be what keeps some games respectable for the near future if Tua doesn't come back soon. And
if we're starting Jacoby every game.
Yeah. And man, like I can't you say Baker's down, and all I can think is was it like Cade McNown? Is that who the backup is? Because he seems like always, that Dolph Lundgren looking bastard always seems to be the backup for every team.
I mean, that'd be something.
Yeah.
It's just I just saw questionable on the thing. I think he might have taken. Oh, it's Case Keenum. Blah, gross.
Yeah.
And just hopefully Odell's good by then. You can just trot him back there.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. Let him go out there and just run the Wildcat.
I don't know about you, but I had a tough NFL Sunday. I was on the Steelers, the Eagles, the fucking Saints, the Rams to cover, the Dolphins, the Bengals, The Falcons.
Yeah. I was most definitely not on the Falcons. I'm low on the Falcons, but the early slate was not good for me. The late slate actually made up for it. I made up for it late.
The Titans and the Cowboys kind of helped. The Titans actually winning outright helped a little bit, and then I was on the Cowboys over the Chargers.
I was also. I think the Chargers are good. I think you and I might not have given the Cowboys the credit that they already get, but hadn't previously deserved.
I was worried about injuries.
Yeah.
I was worried about injuries on them.
That's fair. That's fair. I think they did something smart by moving Micah Parsons into that DeMarcus Lawrence spot. I mean, that gives you actually a new little wrinkle there because he's great at getting to the quarterback, but also, I mean, you could see some zone blitzes where he ends up like dropping back into coverage. I mean, he's just he goes and he finds the ball and he makes stops.
Yeah, he does, and the Cowboys they're in a good spot. I hate that. I hate saying that because I hate the Cowboys, but they're in a good spot. We got to address the Jameis in the room. Saints, Panthers. The Saints go down 26-7. This is some vintage Jameis Winston. 11 for 22, 2 interceptions.
Yeah, it wasn't good. I'm going to chalk a lot of this up to like every single coach but Sean Payton being out for COVID this week. And also I think training at TCU and everything is finally kind of catching up to them.
Oh yeah, because they still aren't in their facilities, are they?
No, they're still not in their facilities. It's probably Jameis being Jameis.
I mean,
last week gave me so much hope though.
I mean, this will always shine through a little bit, but
yeah,
but you can clean him up. You could still clean him up.
We could. I mean, that first pick he threw was bad though. The one where he just kind of he was like falling to the ground and he just threw it as far as he could. Like that is 100% just like an old school Jameis interception.
It really is. That's some vintage Jameis. Also, shout out Sam Darnold looking really good.
Joe Brady is a quarterback whisperer. He's not only a quarterback whisperer, but he's a wide receiver whisperer. Carolina, some things bounced their way. They could maybe like bounce into a wild card spot.
Who knows? Who fucking knows with the Panthers, man? Shout out them. They're having a good season so far. I'm excited to see where they end up. Rams get it done in a close one. There's not too much I'm going to say about that one. Oh, Carson Wentz was the other quarterback. He looked like he got fucking hurt.
Oh,
because Jacob Eason got brought in for the last couple minutes of that game.
If I'm the coach, I bring Jacob Eason in just out of GP, baby, general principal.
I mean, Carson Wentz looked pretty fucking good. He went 20 for 31, a touchdown and interception, 247 yards. Not bad.
He's still a little bitch, though.
I mean, yeah, he is still a little bitch, but whatever.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
And then I guess I'll give Leo one shout out. The Bears won. That's what you get.
Holy crap, they did?
Yeah, they won 20-17.
I'm glad I slept through that part of the day then.
Yep. Also, Tom Brady is just like better than ever. What the fuck?
Rule changes. And I don't know. Have you noticed in that one Subway commercial where they try to make it look like with Tom Brady, where they try to make it look like a cologne commercial?
Yes.
Like the top comes off and then that loaf of
Yes.
bread comes out of the top and it 100% looks like a penis.
It does. It's hilarious every time.
Yeah. How did that make it? Like, that's got to be an inside joke. How did that make it through editors and everything?
Last bit of NFL. We're at halftime right now. While we're recording this, it's halftime. Chiefs-Ravens. Chiefs are up 21-7. Predict the ending score.
I'm going to go 35-14.
I'm going to go
35-10. 35-10.
I'm going to go 42. I'm going to go 38-27.
Okay. We'll storm back. We'll storm back.
27.
A little action Jackson.
Little actiony second half for that game.
Yeah. Okay.
My man. It is time now. We have a little bit of time left. We're trying to make a shorter episode this week. We're trying to breeze through it. What is in your shower thoughts cul-de-sac today? I mean, we kind of went through it a little bit. You're fucking psychic.
Yeah, like was I bitten by like a radioactive like economist or something? Like I don't know where these powers came from. I don't know if I should question where these powers came from and just enjoy it. Like, is this like that movie Phenomenon with John Travolta and Robert Duvall, where he's got a massive brain tumor and it gives him like special mind powers? Like,
Possibly. We don't know.
Should I be alarmed or should I just ride the wave?
Should you go to the doctor is what you're asking.
Yeah, he always checks my prostate. Like, I'm gonna tell him like I'm afraid that I'm psychic, and he's gonna be like, "All right, bend over."
Yeah. All right, let's check it.
Yeah, and so okay, you know the routine. Elbows on the table. I don't know. I don't know what to say. Like, I'm partly in awe of myself, but I'm also kind of scared of myself.
That's a good reaction to have. That's kind of like a nice middle ground to be in.
I don't know if I'm responsible enough to handle these abilities.
I mean, just use them for gambling, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, that's kind of. I mean, let's look at the history of cinema. I mean, whenever Biff Tannen found the sports almanac from the future, he did nothing but use it for good.
Right?
Yeah,
That's what I would do.
yeah. By the way, cancel Biff Tannen and his hot tub sexual assaults.
Yeah, we don't support that. We would have used our gambling knowledge for good in that
I
scenario.
mean, we still would have opened our own casino and like.
1,000%. It would have been the garage casino.
But we wouldn't have sexually assaulted anybody in a hot tub.
No.
No, everything we do in a hot tub is consensual. Unlike that consensual cartwheel that kid from Boise State was forced into when he got popped.
You got fucking popped. That was the hit of the fucking weekend right there. That was awesome.
Clean.
It was clean. I love big, clean college hits.
That's it. I'm just in a weird place with my psychic abilities. I'll learn to love them eventually and really hit my stride.
Just use them for good and you'll be fine. For XFL news, we got a little bit CFL week 7. CFL Jim went 4-0. I think this is the first time he's gotten every game predicted correct. To be fair, he just picks outright winners. He doesn't pick against the spread, but he did pick one underdog to win. So if you parlayed that, I think it would have been a 6-1 parlay.
That's
CFL Jim.
That's my boy. And he was real sorry about giving you 4 straight winners there, eh?
Oh yeah, buddy.
Just we'll sit down, we'll have some gravy on some French fries, eh? And then we'll get ready for
wash down some maple syrup.
Some maple syrup, eh?
Yeah. He's gonna get some picks. Hopefully he can keep that momentum going for next week. I'm really rooting for the guy.
Have a dart, have a Labatt.
X League news. X League. What do we have? We had the Super week 2. We have 2 games that have happened so far. We got one more game that's actually happening tonight. We had the IBM Big Blue, which is Beho's pronounced team, the IBM Big Blue. I think he just picked him because their uniform kind of reminds him of Kentucky. I think that's the only reason he picked him.
100%.
They lost 20-41 to my Obic Seagulls, the right now the reigning champion Obic Seagulls. They won last year. They're fucking awesome.
Yeah. That's
and then the Nojima Saga Mihara only put up 10 versus the Panasonic Impulse. This was actually a sneaky good game. There were some good aspects of it. Panasonic is just kind of that third team that's sort of really good.
You know what's funny is I'm looking at these scores and it's like a 14-point spread, 14-point spread, and then like a 21-point spread. And I'm like, wow, these are close by X League standards.
Honestly, as long as you're not playing the Tokyo Gas Creators, most of the games will be semi-competitive.
Poor fart bags. Poor fart bags.
Also, shout out Fade My Play. He was DMing me. He actually has a buddy that plays on IBM Big Blue.
What?
Yeah, he went over and saw a game. So, like, next time I go to Japan, I need to hit him up and get like the in with the Big Blue.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. It feels like you'd never come back.
Possibly. If I could bet on these games and live there, I may never come back. But yeah, shout out Fade My Play, fucking killing it with the golf picks, and it's nice to have someone else that also knows what the X League is.
There we go. It's a party of 3 now.
Right. My last little bit of XFL news is shout out Taylor Heineke. He's actually looking pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you could really read too much into when he came in for relief for an injured Ryan Fitzpatrick. I mean, when you coach for those games, like you know what personnel that you're going to use, and offensive coordinators tailor game plans around their personnel. Different quarterbacks do different things well, so you go into it with a very limited playbook if you're then putting Taylor Heineke in relief. They came back out the very next week, and I mean, that was an NFC East matchup.
It was, and that's kind of the perfect scenario for Taylor Heineke. He looked fine. He looked pretty good.
It took a minute for him to get into the game. I think.
Yep.
He had one interception late that could have been it for them, but was not his fault. And at the end of the day, this XFL vet got him a dub. He ate him a
You're damn fucking right, he did.
Or at home.
And my last bit of XFL news is I was watching the Chargers-Cowboys game, and Donald Parham had a touchdown called back, and I almost broke a TV.
Give the man his touchdown. Stop
XFL legend.
Stop this. Give him his touchdown.
He deserved it. He really deserved it. There was some bullshit holding or something going on. That's it for the XFL news. Little teaser for you folks. We got some Vegas footage that's coming. Some videos of us in Vegas. I think all in all, we might have like 4 videos out of one weekend.
Yeah, it wasn't just fun for us. We were working, and
it wasn't just roulette, gambling, and $8,400 blowjobs. It was a work trip.
It wasn't just espresso beans and going to Monday Night Football games. It was work.
It was a work trip, and I had a fun time. Chase, this is the end of this episode 28 of the Jimnasium podcast. Tell the people where they can find you.
Only if you show me the call of that field goal again.
High snap, put down. Joseph, come on! It is good! No, he missed it.
I like. So something I missed earlier was after he kicks it when he says "come on" because he knows it's not looking good.
Well, the other guy, there's 2 people there. I think the other guy says "come on."
Oh, okay. I thought it was him trying to will it in between the uprights for his. You can find me being abrasive on Twitter as always at @OFOakwan. That's OF and the word Oakwan. You can always catch me with this knucklehead Friday night, Saturday morning, Sunday night when we do our picks porch on Friday night. We do our college football campus profits with the other boys Saturday morning. You've got I don't even remember what our fantasy show is called, and of course the Jimnasium.
The Jimnasiamos.
The Jimnasiamos for me and Hims. Yeah, it's I'm always around. I'm always around with this knucklehead, this goofball here. This is my long lost brother.
Damn right. You guys know where you can find me. Twitter @XFLGym, YouTube XFLGym. I got some stuff coming out. That Vegas footage is coming out sooner rather than later, so stay tuned for that. You can find us both over on betterthan.vegas, making picks, making plays, doing the fucking degenerates work. It's awesome. It's fun. You can find the Jimnasium everywhere, folks. We're on Better Than Vegas. The video will be on betterthan.vegas, and the audio version will be out. Spotify, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Overcast, Stitcher, TuneIn. We're on all of the podcast platforms. Give us a shout out. Give us a like. Give us a review. We definitely appreciate it. Love you guys.
By Pigeon or Pony Express, we'll send it to you.
We will send it no matter what, and we will leave you with this.
High snap, put down. Joseph, come on! It is good! No, he missed it. Good. Are you kidding me? He missed it right. He missed it.
Amazing. Love you guys. Peace out.